Got my car fixed. And this kind of leads into this talk that I'm going to have today. Two things. Donald Trump has arranged the largest or the richest cabinet in American history. And to put it in context, when George Bush came in, I think it was something like $250 million when they were aggregated. And one of Trump's per people, I think it's the Commerce Secretary, the person he has up, owns, that's a tenth of her worth. That's amazing. There is no reason to believe that these people who are grossly out of touch are going to have any idea of public interest. Look, guys, I know you guys wanted to quote-unquote drain the swamp, but that shit is the swamp. And that's kind of the issue, and that's kind of the point. So I just had a car repaired, and it came for $400. Now, it was a Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal reported, I think, 62% of people in the country, richest country on the planet, didn't have $500 for car repair. I'm sorry. Didn't have $500 for, it was for car repair. Federal Reserve came out with a similar study that said, I think it was half of the country didn't have enough for $400 for an emergency expense. It's not working, man. It is not working. I could pay for that, but that shit hurt. And it's one of those things where, look, we need to come to this resolution that income inequality, the amount of money, like the skyrocketing profits of corporations on Wall Street and the wealthy of the top 1% and the top 0.1%, that's off the scale, versus stagnant wages, and wages that haven't gone anywhere, that for the last 30, 40 years have for the most part been flat. If you're not talking about class warfare, then you're not talking about anything. Because that's essentially what it boils down to. These guys, for the most part, from the 70s on, productivity, let's say from 1940 to 1970, productivity for the most part matched the income. From 1970s to now, it doesn't match. So productivity is skyrocketed by like 90%, and income has gone up, I think, like 30%. When you look at the wealthy, that number is through the roof. That number is astonishing. And you have to account, well, what happened to all that productivity? That productivity was actual gains. That it's not just productivity for the sake of productivity. It's productivity for some ends. Well, that went to the top. You're looking for the reason for the income inequality. There it is. At least that's a main driver, or one of the biggest reasons of it. Concentrated wealth. Concentrated wealth has the ability to buy politicians. Politicians turn around and make laws and rules that essentially advantage the people who are paying. It's not necessarily a conspiracy. It's just the system is designed in a way to essentially concentrate wealth to the top. They're doing all these rules and they're trying to switch it and tweak it and everything else. And at the end of the day, nobody wants to kind of just own up to the obvious, honest fact that, income inequality is not a bug in capitalism. It's the goddamn feature. It's the point. It's the point. The point of it is to concentrate wealth at the top. The middle class is asleep, man. Or I should say what's left of the middle class. Because at the end of the day, the middle class has been decimated. I mean, half of the country has only like $30,000 in the bank. I mean, or I said that wrong. Half the country makes like under $30,000 or $30,000 a year. That's a poverty wage. So that's my chat for today. I'm now dragging my ass to work in late. But I do find an interesting contrast between how he's arranging his office, or how he is arranging his cabinet, what he's looking for with regards to his cabinet. He's already said they're going to cut the corporate tax rate, and the people that he's put in office is looking to essentially decimate social safety net, Medicare, Social Security. Now, granted, they're not going to say that. They're going to say we're quote unquote saving Social Security, even though Social Security does not need to be saved. If anything, it needs to be expanded. But that's their goals. Their goals is how can we make more cash for ourselves? And we can make more cash for ourselves by essentially grabbing and taking political power. And that's what's taking place. So the next 4 years is going to be ghastly. And you're going to see an assault on the social safety net and on just people and workers that we've never seen before in the history of this country. If you're not talking about class warfare now, and then look, by class warfare, I don't mean anything valid. I'm just saying a priority or an understanding of your best interest. What is in my best interest? It is not in my best interest to vote for somebody who's going to undercut Social Security. It's just not. It's not in my best interest for somebody who's going to undercut Social Security, Medicare. It's not in my best interest to vote for somebody who's not going to raise the minimum wage. I don't give a shit if it's a Democrat or a Republican. You know, it takes more than just your vote. It takes a little bit more active. I mean, you got to be more active. So that's my spiel. It's not necessarily a rant. It's more so this is the reality of our situation. And at the end of the day, we can either sit pat and continue to be asleep, or we can do something. You know, find ways to resist, find ways to get active. Whether that's screaming to nobody on YouTube, whether that's writing an article, whether that's investing money in organizations that push for a higher minimum wage, whether that's putting your body on the line and getting outside and being uncomfortable and making other people uncomfortable. Since the New Deal, there's been so much that's been eroded in the society. We're $20 trillion in debt. And you look around, infrastructure-wise, and there is nothing to show for that money. And you gotta ask the question, well, fuck, man, that's $20 million. Where did it go? That's a good question. So, I'll end it there. Have a good day, everybody.